Good evening, everyone. Hope you are doing well. And today we are going to start our next element, the element 3, which is very important. Actually, all the elements are designed as per the importance, as per exam point of view, and for your knowledge point of view as well. This is a lengthy element, so we will try to cover half today and the remaining tomorrow. Again, anybody have any problem in course, in course material, study material, or anybody have any doubt, feel free to ask me. You can call me, message me, or you can raise your hand. You can ask the question during the session as well. So I will stop my video and then I will share my screen. Yeah, guys, you can see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So as we have discussed, we are discussing OHS management system, and we have discussed yesterday about policy, the first element, then the second element, organizing. This is the second element of occupational health and safety management system. So here we have the learning outcomes. What are the learning outcomes of this element? Like what you will be able to understand or talk about after learning this element is outline the health and safety roles and responsibilities of employer, managers, supervisors, workers, and other relevant parties. We already discussed the role of employers and employees in the previous element, but here we are going to discuss it in more brief, in more details, explain the concept of health and safety culture. What is health and safety culture? What is the role of management? How it can be good or bad culture? Outline the human factors like behavioral factors, which can put bad or good impact on health and safety within the organization. Outline the need of emergency procedure, why we have to develop or why we have to be a ready emergency response procedure, a written document on site. What is the requirement, why we need that, we will discuss about it. And outline the requirement for and effective provision of first aid in the workplace, what and how we can ensure that the effective first aid facility is available on the workplace, and why we need to have an appropriate first aid facility in the workplace. So in element 1 3.1 we have organizational health and safety roles and responsibilities. Here we start with the roles and responsibilities which own on different level of employees, starting from the top management, from the managing director, from the CEO up to the laborers, up to the every junior staff in the organization. So standards of for organization responsibility for ensuring that the workplace is safe and free of health risk rest with the employer. This is the ultimately responsibility of the employer, the owner, the client, or you can say the responsibility of organization to ensure that the workplace is free of health risk. As we noted earlier, the responsibility is made clear, in ILO Convention C155 and ILO Recommendation 164. It's clearly defined what are the roles and responsibilities of the employer and the employees as well. Here, just we carry on with that. We just go through. So, just to remind that what are the duties of employees to provide safe place of work, safe plant and equipment, safe system of work, training and supervision of the employees. This is the basic and the key responsibilities of the employer to make the workplace safe. And moving forward, organizational health and safety roles and responsibilities. It's starting from the employer, then directors and senior managers, then middle managers. Middle managers means the teams based on the workplace, on the projects, on the floor in charge is like that. And then the safety specialist, including safety managers, safety engineers, safety officers, safety supervisors, etc. Then workers, they have responsibility, controller of the premises like the security team of the organization, self-employed, suppliers, manufacturers, designers, contractors, joint occupation premises. All these parties are responsible to make the health and safety a priority, and they are responsible to make the workplace safe. So, what are the responsibilities of employer? Who are the employers? The employers carries ultimate responsibility for ensuring that the workplace is safe and free of health risk and safety risk. Yeah, this is the ultimate responsibility in any incident, accident. Employer is responsible to ensure for the safety, to ensure the health and safety of workplace. They are the ultimate responsible party. Ensure the safety of workers and others, like they have to ensure the safety of workers, plant and equipment, and others like the public members, the members of general public, the visitors, the trespassers. They need to take care of everything, and they need to ensure that no one get hurt because of their activities. Okay, here we have directors and senior managers. They have a set of responsibilities. There is a set of responsibility which is implemented on the directors and senior managements that give an organization its direction. They must give a way. They must define a way and direction, how to run, how to do, what are the priorities, how much and how they allocate the resources, and how they provide competent persons to do the job, how they allocate and distribute the roles and responsibilities, are responsible for ensuring that all of the legal requirements are met. They are responsible that organization in the area, in the legislation where they are working, the organization is fulfilling all the safety requirements they are fulfilling, and they are complying with all the HSE standards. This is the responsibility of directors and senior managers. And then the middle managers, they are responsible, and middle managers and the supervisors, they are responsible to perform the day-to-day job safe, day-to-day operational activities. They have their duty to ensure that the daily activities, the routine site work, routine workplace work is carried out in safe manners. The employees are complying with the health and safety standards. They are complying with the instructions given to them. They are complying, they are using the safe procedures, and they are adopting to wear all personal protective equipments which are provided to them by the organization. Then safety specialist. We are the people who known as safety specialist. No matter you are a safety assistant or you are a safety supervisor or you are a safety manager, you have your own role and responsibility. The basic responsibilities are to advise the organization on correct manners, to advise and to keep the organization aware about the local legal legislations, about the HSE standards, about the practices, and so that the organization can meet its legal obligations and achieve its policy aim. The aim and targets and objectives which the organization set in their health and safety policy, the safety team have to advise the organization how to achieve these goals. Here we have a group discussion, and now we will start the responsibility of workers. What are the responsibilities of workers? Workers have a responsibility to take reasonable care of their own health and safety and that of other people who might be affected by what they are doing or they are not doing. For example, I came to know about an incident recently. A worker, his work and his shift hours, he just hide himself behind a concrete foundation, and he start using a headset, and he start listening some music, or he start talking his family, his home, and unfortunately he hide himself, and on the meanwhile a heavy equipment passing nearby hit the concrete foundation, and concrete foundation fall on the employee. Here there are the multiple people who are responsible, and the multiple mistakes are there, but the ultimate and the immediate effect which make it the direct cause is the employee hide himself. Employee is not supposed to talk on telephone, he is not supposed to use the headset and hand freeze during his work. He is not supposed to sit on an undesignated area. If he want to talk, it's okay. If he want to use phone, it's okay. If he want to take rest or he want to eat, it's really fine for the organization. But he need to go to the designated rest area so that he can talk with family in a safe place. Anyhow, the incident or the accident investigation is going on, and many problems are being happening for the employer and for the managers as well. So workers, all employees, even the most junior employee, he have the responsibility to take care of himself. Then the controller of premises, just hold on guys. Assalamu alaikum. चलो ठीक हो गया जी, जज़ाक। Apologize guys, actually I have an emergency call. So the controller
No
of the
problem, sir.
premises, the people who are performing the job, like an organization, they have a construction manager. He is responsible to for excavation and pipeline work. So it's his responsibility that after finishing the job, he should ensure the safety and all the excavation protections on the workplace. He must protect every excavation by providing the required type of barriers, hard or soft barriers or demarcation and prominent signages, and the site security team, which they have to ensure that nobody, no visitors, no kids, no members of the public can enter to the workplace, because they are not aware about the workplace and they can get hurt by falling in the excavations, or by getting touch contact in with other machines or equipments. So the next is contractors and self-employed. These two groups have similar responsibilities. They are responsible to take care of their own health and safety of others who might be affected by their acts or omissions. Here they have given the example of two people. One is the glass cleaner and the second is the painter. So just see about painter, they are responsible for their own health, and because of paint, in the paint there are some type of chemicals they are using, and there is some toxic materials which they are using, so they need to take care of themselves. They need to wear appropriate PPE, face mask, to have a good breathing system, and to save their hands they need to wear the gloves and the clothing as well. And same for the people who are working for the glass cleaning, they need to take care that the rope and the platform they are using, it's already inspected, and no material will fall down, because under the buildings the peoples are moving on, so it's their responsibility to ensure that material should not fall on the peoples, on the members of public who are passing under by. So these are the other group. Then supplier, manufacturer and designers. Here the suppliers and manufacturers are having the almost same roles. The supplier, he have to ensure that the whatever the materials, whatever the substances or the items they are delivering on the project, on the workplace, or what are the items they are supplying, they must ensure that they are handled safely during the transportation, and they must advise, or they must give an advice, a written document, that how to handle, how to save, how to store these materials, how to unload these materials, what are the hazards associated, what are the flash points, if it's a fire or if it's a flammable or combustible material. So manufacturer and suppliers, they must give this type of data, which is known as Msds, material safety data sheet. This is coming with every material. It have a complete set of information like what are the contents of the material, this material made by 1 2 3 4 5 6, what are the items, and what is the flash point. And just a moment guys, let me add this guy. Okay. There is one want to join, but again he is offline anyhow. So manufacturers and the same manufacturer, what they are producing, they must give a clear guidelines. This material contains these items, these minerals, or these materials are involved to are used to make this one. And the designers, they must ensure that the design of the material is safe to use, it's not creating additional hazards. Suppose when they are providing a machine which have some rotating parts, so they must ensure that all the rotating parts are covered, are guarded with appropriate guard, so that it cannot get the people's inside by tangling or by entanglement. So these are the duties of designers, that they must ensure the design of the workplace, design of the equipments as safe as possible. Then we have clients and contractors. So the clients, if a client can be held responsible for an injury caused by a contractor working for the client, then it must be in the client's own best interest to ensure that the contractor do not endanger workers or others. Guys, this depends on the contract, which type of contract you are having. If the client is responsible for your safety, then he is responsible for everything. But if in the contract it's mentioned that the contractors, the organizations who are performing the job, they are responsible for safety, and safety is their responsibility, then they have ultimate responsibility for performing as per as the safety standards on the workplace. And then we have selecting the contractor. When we are selecting a contractor, we have to check their health and safety policy, their risk assessment, their OHS management system, the competency of the people, their accident records, sickness records, incident records, enforcement notice or any fine from the organizations, their accident history. These all things we need to check when we are selecting a contractor. We need to check that the membership of professional organizations, are they are ISO certified, do the safety team have the professional memberships, like are they a member of IOSH or risk assessment, whatever, IIRSM, are they a member of certified safety professionals community or no. So these things need to consider before hiring or before selecting a contractor. Then we have planning the work. Information to be shared between client and contractor. Whenever we have to start the work, whenever we have to commence the work on the workplace in the project, a written communication and a formal communication need to be sent to the client and to the contractor, like a mutual understanding and a mutual clear and concise communication, like this is the work which we are going to start from this date, and this will be the manpower which we are using, these are the equipments and plants which we are using to do the job. Sorry. Okay. Then next, hazards posed by the site. What are the hazards on the site? Is the hazard identification carried out, risk assessment carried out, method statement developed, approved and communicated with the employees. Guys, you just hear about method statement. A method statement is a complete document which informing to the team or to the site team, to the employees, to the job performers, that this is the methodology of the work. The purpose of the document, why we are developing the method statement. This is the purpose to perform the job, to construct a 3-story building for the peoples to live in. So like this is the purpose, and to comply with the legal local standards, or to comply with the municipality guidelines and standards. And in method statement, everything is mentioned clearly, like which type of materials we are using, which type of equipments we are using, what is the methodology, what is the strategy of the work, like step by step procedure starting from the surveying and leveling, like they set out they inspect the soil, they check the area, they check the environment, they check the hazards available, existing hazards on the workplace, and then after that, on the basis of risk assessment, the steps involved to perform the job. On the basis of that, the safety team is developing a risk assessment. So method statement is a very important document, and coordination of work, ensuring activities don't conflict. There should be no conflict. The permit to work system should be followed for all activities. Key contacts, the number of key personals like project manager, safety manager, first aiders, fire marshals, they need to be placed everywhere on the site so that in case of any emergency, people just call them and can get their help, get their support. Then monitor and control. Client must monitor the work to ensure safety. The client can stop the work if it involves unsafe practices. If they find that the work is not being performed in a safe manner, they have the right to stop the work in the workplace. Then joint occupiers of premises. Guys, this is something where on the same workplace many organizations are working. Suppose that you are working on a roadside where one organization, they have responsibility to lay the asphalt, and the other organization, they have the responsibility of paving tiles and curbstones, and there is third organization, they have responsibility of painting the or replacing the signboard. The fourth organizations, they have responsibility of installing the street light poles with concrete foundations. So when it's mixed, then article 17 of convention C1 convention 155 and recommendation 164 article 11, they give clear guidelines that employers in shared facilities should communicate to develop appropriate health and safety standard and appropriate policies and procedures. So there should be a mutual understanding and appropriate communication, like who will do the job in this area, how they will distribute the area, how will they distribute the timing and the job, to ensure that the safety is being followed. They will share the risk assessment, they can make a joint management commitment, joint management safety work to check the workplace. So here we have a question: who does an employer owe a duty to do with regards to health and safety? Who does an employer owe a duty to with regards to health and safety? Which employers? This is a question, you have to answer that. What are their responsibilities? You have to check that. In our previous, in the slide which we are just carrying on, they have the responsibility to save their workers, to save the environment, to save the visitors, to save the member of public. The question 2 is, how can directors influence health and safety? Directors, they must ensure the policy in place, resources are provided, allocation of resources, allocation of budget is there, and they provide competent people to perform the job. In this way they can influence. What are the key workers' responsibility? Their first responsibility is to take care of themselves, and then moving forward they have to comply with all the HSE instructions given to them. They have to follow all the safety procedures, they have to use everything properly, they have to wear all the personal protective equipments. What would you look for check when selecting contractor? When we select a contractor, what should we check? Their experience in the same job, their qualifications, their memberships with the professional organization, their accident records, their insurance payments, and any enforcement action taken against that contractor by the local authorities, by the legal authorities, any court orders. All these things we are checking before before selecting a contractor. Now we will start our element 3.2, which is the concept and significance of health and safety culture. Now we will talk about health and safety culture. Just a moment. So first we will talk about health and safety culture. What is mean by culture? Health and safety culture. What features would you expect to see in an organization with good health and safety culture? So this we are going to discuss. The safety culture of an organization is the shared attitude, values, beliefs, and behaviors relating to health and safety. This one, the culture is influenced by management, by communications, workers' competence, and cooperation. These are the four factors which influence, which have impact on the culture of the organization. Culture means anything which is relating to the behaviors in the organization. Health and safety culture indicators. The poor health and safety culture and the good health and safety culture both are opposite to each other. So what are the indicators? The following are the following things need to be spotted early. Accident records. If there are more accidents, mean the safety culture is poor. More sickness record, safety culture is poor. Sickness record is less and less accidents mean good health and safety culture. Absenteeism, people are taking more absence, more sick leaves, poor safety culture. Staff turnover, people are not staying long time in the organizations, mean the health and safety system is not a good, it's a poor safety culture. Compliance with safety rules, worker complaints, staff morale, all these things, if they are in positive way, then the health and safety culture is good. But if they are in negative way, then the health and safety culture is bad in the organization. So factors promoting negative culture. What promote? Why safety negative safety culture? How it will promoted in the organization? Lack of leadership from management. The management is not interested to set example for the employees. Then they are not serious for health and safety. It leads to a poor safety culture. Presence of blame culture, putting the responsibilities on other. Like I am the responsible for health and safety, but instead of giving training to the workers, I am just asking the site engineers, yeah, do that, do that, do that. Like putting the responsibilities on other. In case of any incident, any accident, putting the blame on others, it will lead to poor safety culture. And then lack of management commitment to safety, health and safety, lower priority. If organization is not giving enough priority to health and safety, high staff turnover rate, lack of resources, if they don't have adequate budget and competent persons, it will lead to poor safety culture. Lack of worker consultation, the employers or the senior managers, they are not consulting the workers what are their problems, they are not discussing the issues with them. Poor management system, external influence like economics and climates. External, like the budget is very less and the environment around the organization, everything, like in same place there are three organizations are working and the two are very bad, one is the good, so soon or later the good one will be shifted to the bad because of the culture from their right and left. These are the poor safety culture indicators, and these are the good safety good indicators of the safety indicators for the good safety culture. If they are in positive way, they are good. If they are in negative way, they are bad. So guys, our session is going to expire in a minute, so after that you just join it again. I will try to cover the reorganization, company takeover, merger, management buyout, change of management, departmental restructure, redundancy leading to new orders, the new government orders, uncertainty over role and responsibilities. These all are the reasons of poor or good safety culture. If these things taken into positive way, they will give a good safety culture. Otherwise, the safety culture will be poor and bad. So just join the meeting again, because this is going to expire in a minute.